On our wedding anniversary, my husband ditched me for his friends again. I arrived discreetly with some good wine and food, only to find a woman in a swimsuit sitting on my husband's lap. And my husband's hand was gently caressing her waist. Suddenly, I heard the woman say, "We're all brothers here," and honestly, I can't stand women who constantly demand anniversary celebrations. Marcus always leaves my old lady on holidays to be with us, so let's toast him, too. I smiled and pushed the door open. What a coincidence, darling. I'd like to toast you too. An instant silence fell over the room. My husband Marcus's smile vanished in a second. He stared at me, wide-eyed, fear flickering in his eyes. The woman on his lap turned around, gave me a dismissive glance, then cupped my husband's face in her hands. I heard her say, "Son, where's your loyalty? I told you this was a gathering just for us brothers. Why would you bring your old lady here?" My old lady? Was she talking about me? How quaint, to hear such an archaic term in the 21st century. I strode over in my high heels, placed the wine and food on the table, and looked at my pale-faced husband. "Didn't you say you were all brothers, darling? So, who is this?" "Honey, they really are all my brothers. Don't you believe me? Just ask them." "Ah." Before could finish, the bikini-clad woman on his lap pinched his ear. The bikini-clad woman's voice was aggressive and domineering. "Oh, son, when did you get so brave that you don't even answer your old man anymore, huh? Stop it, get down." Marcus couldn't stand my gaze and finally pushed the woman off his lap. The woman looked at me, let out two tsks, and then started getting dressed. As she dressed, she said, "Women are such a hassle. Don't overthink it, I just lost a game of truth or dare. We brothers are busy partying and playing games, we don't have time to sweet-talk women." Marcus approached me with an ingratiating smile, reaching for my hand. "Honey, let me introduce you. This is Kevin, this is David, and this is Alex. We grew up together, and we all treat her like a brother." His friends chimed in, "Exactly, we're all brothers. Grace, please don't misunderstand. We've had a bit too much to drink today, so things got a little wild." I was utterly speechless. These people were clearly taking me for a fool. Well, I could play their game. I opened my mouth. "Darling, I don't misunderstand at all. This brother's surgery was done in Thailand, wasn't it? Which transgender surgeon did it? Their technique is truly impressive." I tisked in admiration, my curious and mocking gaze openly raking over Alex. She exploded in anger in a second. "What nonsense are you talking about? I'm a woman." "A woman? Right, I understand you're a woman after your surgery." My eyes were clear, and I simply nodded in agreement. "Don't get so worked up. I'll definitely treat you as my husband's brother, not as a woman, no, as a man, no." Pfft, ha 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 ha. Marcus couldn't hold it in and burst out laughing. This only made Alex's face grow darker. Her hands clenched into fists, she was clearly losing her composure. She gritted her teeth, pursed her lips, and poured a glass of wine, then walked over and handed it to me. "Since you're an uninvited guest, why don't you join our game? Truth or dare, pick one." "I choose neither," I said, raising an eyebrow and glancing at her chest. "But since you're my husband's good brother, there's one thing I must advise you, don't skimp on the costs. It's not easy for a man to become a woman, so if you're going to do it, go all the way." Marcus laughed heartily again. "Honey, you're really too cute. Alex really is a woman. She hasn't had any surgery, she just has a tomboyish personality, so we all treat her like a guy. To get lost." Alex splashed a glass of wine on me. I told you I'm a woman. A woman. I haven't had any damn sex change." She raised her hand, ready to slap me. "Bitch, D. Oh, you not understand human language?" Slam. A loud slap rang out as Marcus quickly stepped in front of me, taking the full force of the blow. Alex instantly panicked. "Ma Marcus, why did you suddenly jump in front of me? Did I hurt you?" Marcus pushed her hand away, shielding me as he confronted his female brother. "Grace is my wife, whom I cherish. I'm letting this slide this time only because you're my brother. As he pulled me away, Alex suddenly called out to him. "Son, we agreed that brothers come first. Are you really going to abandon your brothers for this old lady?" I stopped, pulling Marcus back. 6 months ago, on my birthday, Marcus left me for his friends. When I landed a big project and my whole family celebrated, Marcus still left the celebration for his friends. Marcus suspected I was pregnant and took time off to accompany me to the hospital, but then left for his friends right at the hospital entrance. Today, on our wedding anniversary, Marcus still abandoned me, embracing his bikini-clad female brother and wrapping his arm around her waist. Now, I stopped and looked at Marcus, asking, "What do you say?" He didn't dare to look at me. The men around Alex started to jeer. Listening to your wife? So unmanly. Don't come back after you leave, Marcus. We'll pretend you don't exist anymore. Exactly, women are the most troublesome. Marriage is so boring. We were having such a good time, and this woman ruined the mood. She's not half as good as Alex. Alex grew even more smug. Marcus began to waver, a pleading look in his eyes as he spoke to me. Honey, Grace, I know you're the best. Why don't you go home for now? Whoa. The group cheered in unison. Alex gulped down a large glass of wine, her gaze challenging me, as if she had won a victory. She laughed loudly and then said, I lost just now, didn't I? Well, then, let's ignore the outsider. Let's continue our game. The outsider referred to me. Alex continued, we're all good BR. Others, and Marcus truly treats us like family. Every time he's done with that kind of thing with his old lady, he comes to me for advice. He asks me to evaluate her performance. Suddenly, my brain felt like it had been hit by a hammer, stunned and reeling. Marcus's friend started to egg her on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Spicy. Alex, quickly, how's Grace doing? My hands clenched into fists. I glared at Marcus, barely holding myself together. Well, of course, she's terrible. Alex said, smug and loud. Grace, right? I really don't know what Marcus sees in you. As my face darkened, Alex became even more triumphant. If I hadn't given Marcus pointers, he probably would have lost patience and replaced you by now. Alex, shut up. Marcus panicked, wishing he could cover Alex's mouth. She had been yelled at, so she huffed, pouted, and stomped her foot in displeasure. Honey, listen to me, it's not like that. Marcus hurriedly tried to calm me, looking utterly flustered. I pushed him away, avoiding his touch. Honey, I was inexperienced, and I was afraid you'd look down on me, so I asked my brothers for advice. Really? When's arm brushed mine, my strong aversion kicked in. Without hesitation, I pulled out a wet wipe and vigorously cleaned the spot he had touched. Seeing my reaction, Marcus looked hurt. Honey, what does this mean? You don't trust me anymore? Alex added fuel to the fire. I told you women are troublesome. All the brothers advised you not to get married. Now you regret it, don't you? I lifted my cold eyes and glanced at Alex. Years of self-control were shattered. I admitted, this person really had a knack for getting under my skin. I clapped my hands, and the tall bodyguards at the door walked in. Miss Grace, how may I help you? Because I had been kidnapped in junior high and fortunately rescued, I had carried bodyguards with me for years afterward. And now, they came in handy. I pointed at Alex and said, this person's mouth is dirty. Give her a washing out. Yes, Miss Grace. One bodyguard stayed to protect me, while the other strode over and grabbed Alex like a chicken. What are you doing? Hitting people is against the law. Alex was slapped hard twice. Alex. Marcus tensed up completely, his pupils constricted as if he had stopped breathing. Slap, slap. 2 more slaps. Alex screamed frantically, stop it. Help me. Someone help me. I looked around. There were so many of those good brothers, but they all huddled in corners, terrified of being caught in the crossfire. They were just fair-weather friends, after all. But there was one exception. Marcus ran over to stop him but was no match for the bodyguard and was wrestled to the ground. Alex, however, was spared further slaps because of this. Let go of Marcus. If you're so tough, come at me. Alex's cheeks were swollen and red as she pounded on the bodyguard's arm. Do you know who you're hurting? That's Marcus, the heir to Vance. Let him go. I paused. Wasn't I the heir to Vance? Since when was it Marcus? But shouted, Alex, I'm fine, you hurry and leave, don't get hit anymore. I apologize to you for my wife. She's just a woman, long on hair and short on brains. Can you forgive her? I'll make sure to educate her when we get home. Hearing this, I blinked again. So, this was how my good husband saw me in public. My phone rang. It was Eleanor calling. She was a tolerant and wise woman. She said, Grace, come back with Marcus tomorrow. I've cooked for you myself, something good for your health. Looking at the chaotic scene before me, I waved my hand. For sake, I temporarily had the bodyguard release Marcus. He was helped up by Alex, reaching out to touch her face, concerned. I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of my wife. We've been brothers for so many years, please don't blame my wife. I snorted with laughter. Marcus actually thought it was my fault. Alex, however, looked at me with resentment, saying in a sarcastic tone, Grace, you really are lucky. An ordinary, ill-mannered, An uncultured woman like you actually managed to snag a man like Marcus, and he even defends you like this. I advise you to start acting like a woman in the future and stop embarrassing him in public. She pointed to the door. Now, if you kneel down, crawl out like a dog, and promise never to appear before us brothers again. Then we'll give Marcus some face and temporarily forgive you. Exactly. Hurry up and kneel to apologize. Women should act like women. As they all chimed in, my fists tightened again. Marcus ran over, trying to be helpful, and advised me, Grace, a woman shouldn't embarrass her man in public. Besides, you were really out of line today. Just kneel down and admit you were wrong. Marcus, let's get a divorce. My lawyer will send you the agreement tomorrow. No, Grace, I truly love you. I will never divorce you. I suddenly found it all uninteresting. These rotten people were not worth my time anymore. I started to leave, but Alex and the others wouldn't let me. You can't leave. You haven't knelt, you haven't begged. You provoked us, and now you think you can just walk away. Alex tried to slap me, but Marcus blocked her, not letting her through. Marcus, what's the meaning of this? Are you disowning your old man? I kicked her in the knee, and Alex fell flat on her face. She really did give me a big bow. I accept your kneeling apology. I can introduce you to a doctor who can make you a real man. As I turned to leave with my 2 bodyguards, the lights suddenly went out. A group of thugs surged onto the yacht. When the lights came back on, one of my bodyguards was struggling on the ground, bleeding from a broken bottle to the head, and the other was being beaten by 7 or 8 men. As for me, Alex took advantage of my distraction and slapped me hard across the face. You thought I had no one, that you could just bully me, huh? She spoke to the yacht, throw this disobedient woman into the sea and let her cool down. No, you can't. That's your sister-in-law, Alex. You can't treat my wife like that. Marcus initially tried to dissuade her, but Alex said something to him that made him agree. He crouched down, ignoring my bruised and battered state, and still gently said, Honey, I told you before we got married that my brothers were important. You were disobedient, so a little lesson might do you good. Alex has already promised me that after today, you'll be able to join our brotherhood, and they'll completely accept you. I raged, ignoring Marcus and turning to the yacht. I am the heir to Vance. This yacht is a company asset. You should be helping me. The manager frowned, looking hesitant. I'm the heir, I am MPH. Marcus, as if feeling guilty, directly covered my mouth. He said, Grace, you're still the one I love most, but you really need to learn a lesson. I hope you can understand my good intentions. Then, Alex giggled and leaned into Marcus's arms, and he didn't shy away, putting his arm around her waist. A thick rope was brought out. I was tied and dangled upside down from the yacht into the sea. The seawater engulfed my body, and a tremendous panic washed over me. Marcus had rescued me when I was kidnapped, so he knew about my fear of the sea. Yet, he did this to me for his female brother. Alex seemed to think this punishment wasn't enough. She deliberately had them pull the rope up and down, and I constantly choked on water, feeling like I died again and again. Suddenly, the rope around me loosened. I plunged into the deep sea. On the yacht, Alex held a pair of scissors, feigning innocence. She pouted and coquettishly told Marcus, Oh, I just wanted to play a little game. I didn't realize the rope was so fragile. Marcus, why don't you lose one wife and become a widower for once? Alex's eyes widened, her eyelashes fluttering, her gaze fixed on Marcus. Since you've lost a wife, how about I compensate you with myself? Saying this, she placed Marcus's hand on her chest. Alex's blatant seduction made Marcus frantic. He pushed her hand away. Who told you to cut the rope? Alex, how could you let my wife fall into the sea? Do you have any idea what trouble you've caused? Marcus roared in anger, constantly looking out at the sea, frantically pulling at his hair, even wanting to jump in to save me. But he didn't have the courage. Marcus grabbed the yacht's tie and yelled, Who told you to go along with Alex's games? If my wife really dies, we're all doomed. He furiously punched and kicked the yacht. What are you standing there for? Quickly, send someone to rescue her. Hurry. Alex looked puzzled. Marcus, why are you so panicked? You're the distinguished heir to Vance. Is there anything you can't handle? Because I'm not. Marcus's voice was instantly choked off, as if someone had grabbed his throat, and he couldn't speak another word. The manager sent people to search. After all that drama, Marcus's friends actually still had the mind to want to continue playing games. It was still truth or dare. Marcus was still looking out at the sea. He waved his hand, I'm not in the mood today. You all go ahead and play. Alex gave them a look, and they were very cooperative. Alex lost again. This time the punishment is for two people to strip naked and get into a bed together, face to face. Hearing this, Marcus froze. One of the men came forward. In that case, I'll take the punishment. I'll do it too. Yeah, I can do it. No. Marcus slammed his hand on the table and stood up in anger. Alex is a girl. How can you do that to her? It's fine, I can do it. Alex puffed out her chest. I told you, we're all brothers. I can do it. Alex, are you crazy? Marcus gritted his teeth. Alex suddenly confessed, Marcus, I've wanted to say this for years, I don't want you to be my son anymore. You, be with me. Marry me, I'll give myself to you. What, you? Marcus was dumb. Founded and suddenly jumped back. Don't be so disgusting. Who wants to marry a brother? I love my wife very much. The scene became awkward. The men looked at each other, completely unprepared for this turn of events. Alex's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. Marcus, Grace has already fallen into the sea. I know your feelings for me, you don't need to pretend anymore. Pretend what? What nonsense are you talking about? Marcus reacted violently, resisting agitatedly. How could you have such thoughts about me? You look like a man, I genuinely treat you as a brother. How could you want to be my wife? This time, it was Alex who was dumbfounded. Her voice rose, I sat on your lap dressed like this today, and you put your arm around my waist and touched my leg. Doesn't that make things clear? Marcus rubbed his nose, feeling a little guilty. We're just brothers, you know. It's normal to touch each other. How about I let you touch me back? Alex gritted her teeth. I know you're the heir to Vance and look down on me, but the dare punishment for today must still go on. She snapped her fingers, and the yacht led his men forward. Marcus suddenly felt something was wrong, his whole body started to heat up. Alex walked over and embraced him, a shy expression on her face. That night, in the yacht's cabin, the dare punishment was carried out. In the hospital, I watched the yacht's security footage, rubbing my forehead, and tossed the tablet aside. It was too disgusting, it made my headache even worse. Ms. Grace, it's all our fault for not protecting you adequately, leading to this accident. I waved my hand, it's not your fault. Someone else will pay the price. Go investigate who truly rescued me from the traffickers back then. Investigate thoroughly to see if Marcus merely passed by accidentally, or if he stole someone else's credit. Feeling uneasy in the hospital room, I went downstairs for some fresh air and ran into Alex. Her sweet smile vanished instantly, and she roared ferociously, Grace, you actually dared to survive. I raised an eyebrow. What a small world it was. Alex strode toward me, raising her hand, intending to slap me. You're alive and not hiding, that's one thing, but you dare to show your face to me? Grace, how can you be such a slut? Slap. I seized her hand and slapped her across the face. My bodyguards immediately came forward when they heard the commotion. I motioned for them to stay back. Alex immediately yelled, do you know who I am? I'm about to marry into Vance as the young madam. Anyone with sense, help me quickly. Otherwise, I'll kill you all one by one. The bodyguards twitched their lips at her words. As one was about to speak, I deliberately coughed, and he shut his mouth. Alex continued to clamor, are you deaf? Offending me is offending Vance. I'll make sure none of you can make a living. Slap, slap. I slapped her hard a few more times. At first, I thought she was just stupid, but it turned out she was both stupid and malicious. Alex still wouldn't give up. I'm about to become the young madam of Vance. I slap, slap. Vance won't let you off. I slap, slap. Let go, help me, help. Slap, slap. I kept hitting her until my hand grew tired before letting Alex go. A bodyguard seized Alex. I patted Alex's face like I was patting a dog. What you did to me on the yacht isn't over yet. Today is just collecting a little interest. I advise you to do whatever you want to do quickly, otherwise, you'll rot in jail. At my words, Alex's body trembled, and a look of terror appeared on her face. But she was truly thick-skinned and mentally strong, quickly regaining her smug arrogance. Grace, you really have a death wish. Grace, honey, you're alive after all, that's wonderful. Alex's and Marcus's voices rang out simultaneously, with the latter's covering the former's. Marcus, you came at just the right time. Look what Grace did to me. Quickly, get back at her for me. Alex dropped her female brother persona and pulled up Marcus, whining. But's eyes were filled only with me. Hearing's words, he forcefully pushed her away. Talk properly. Remember, we're brothers. Don't whine like a girl, it's disgusting. Alex bit her tongue. I smiled broadly. Marcus actually had a way to twist the knife. The bodyguard released Alex and stood in front of Marcus, preventing him from approaching me. But this didn't stop Marcus from confessing his feelings. Honey, that night was truly an accident. Otherwise, you can hang me over the sea to take out your anger. Just please don't leave me. Marcus's confession seemed to further enrage and humiliate Alex. Marcus, don't forget we already slept together. Alex, though speaking to Marcus, looked at me, her eyes full of triumph. We stripped naked and got into bed together. What kind of brothers do that? She suddenly gently touched her stomach. Maybe there's already your child in here. You're the heir to Vance, and you wouldn't want your lineage to be scattered. And, you've been married to Marcus for over a year, and you're clearly a barren hen. You're simply not worthy of his heir status. Shut up, stop talking. Marcus's gaze was venomous, looking as if he wanted to kill Alex. Honey, it was all my fault before. I shouldn't have been misled by my fair-weather friends. Marcus knelt before me without hesitation, begging for my forgiveness. They were all trying to sow discord, jealous of how much I liked you. From now on, I'll cut all ties with them and stay by your side obediently. I said nothing, pulling my hand away from his. Marcus instead crawled forward on his knees, desperately clinging to my legs. Honey, I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Please forgive me, I beg you. I'll never act foolishly again. Alex, in turn, was dumbfounded, trying to physically pull him up from the ground. Marcus, what are you doing? You're the heir to a wealthy family. The entire bank. He will be yours someday. It's just a woman, can't you have some backbone? At that ill-timed moment, Marcus and Alex's group of friends appeared together. They all looked terrified when they saw me, clearly feeling guilty. Suddenly, Marcus stood up, all traces of his earlier subservience gone. The more he acted like this, the more I wanted to humiliate him. Slap. A loud slap rang out. After slapping Marcus, I kicked him back to the ground. Alex instantly went crazy. What are you doing? How dare you treat Marcus like that? Are you out of your mind? Marcus's friends echoed her. Vance won't let you off. A cast-off socialite, still so arrogant. Someone who almost died once, how can she still not cherish her life? This is hilarious. Marcus will kill this woman. I had the bodyguard pull Marcus up. Alex pulled out her phone and said, "Hello, Dad, Marcus is being bullied at the hospital, quickly bring people here." After making the call, she tilted her head back and looked down her nose at me. "Grace, you're finished. My dad will be here soon. There are cameras here, and we're witnesses. We'll make sure you rot in jail." I smiled. Vance's legal department is quite capable. At least you have some sense. Alex spoke as if she were a high society lady. But even if you kneel and beg for mercy now, it's too late. Marcus and I will make your life a living hell. Shut up. Apologize to my wife immediately. Alex, apologize to Ms. Grace. Marcus and Dean, who had just arrived, spoke at the same time. I raised an eyebrow. So was Dean's daughter. It seemed the HR director in charge of the medical sector needed to be reviewed. My dad is here, and the Vance chairman is here too today. They will definitely stand up for Marcus. Grace, you're done for. Dean was practically frantic. Shut up, you. Shut up. At his age, he bowed deeply to me, his forehead covered in cold sweat. Dad, what are you doing? I'm already Marcus's woman, I'll soon marry into a wealthy family. Why, we're all family, there's no need to be so polite. I looked at Marcus, and he jumped as if electrocuted. Honey, Alex is just fantasizing. I've never admitted anything. You have to believe me, I never did. Alex seemed not to have recognized reality yet. She was puzzled. Marcus, what are you doing? All year, on birthdays and anniversaries, you've ditched your old lady to be with me. Isn't that enough to show your feelings? Besides, I'm already yours. Shut up, you old hag, shut up. Marcus reprimanded her just like Dean, but he was even more frenzied. I said nothing, my eyes distant, my smile cold, like I was looking at a dead person. Marcus couldn't stand the pressure of my gaze. He immediately fell to his knees, completely forgetting about his reputation in front of his friends, begging me for mercy. But I wouldn't. For today's account and all the ones before, Marcus, we'll settle them one by one, slowly. Marcus instantly felt like he had plunged into an ice abyss. I smiled. Dean, because of your daughter, you'll also have to prepare yourself. Thump. Dean couldn't stand steady and slumped against the wall, tears spilling from his clouded eyes. His lips moved, wanting to plead, but reacted even more strongly. Bitch, you dare to scare my dad? I'll kill you. No. Don't. Ms. Grace. Several voices rang out simultaneously, the most prominent among them being William, the chairman of Vance. William, you've arrived, that's wonderful. Alex, after being pushed against the wall by me, burst into tears. She familiarized herself, running up to William and saying, "I'm Marcus's next wife. Soon, I'll be family with you, William. You've come at just the right time. Someone is bullying Marcus, challenging Vance's authority, and even threatening Marcus and my dad. It's absolutely unforgivable." Alex lifted her head toward me, full of borrowed confidence, as if convinced I was doomed. She didn't notice Marcus beside her, already on his knees, trembling uncontrollably. I smiled as I walked past Alex, slowly approaching William. I naturally took his arm, intimately saying, "You're right. I misjudged him." William shook his head resignedly, affectionately patting my head. "It's all right. Just consider it being bitten by a pet you raised. It's no big deal." Suddenly, Alex uttered something shocking. "Grace, you not only betrayed Marcus but also cheated with your father-in-law. Have you no shame? You're the biggest slut in the world." MMPH, MMPH, MMPH. Dean had probably recovered and desperately covered her mouth. 9. He kept bowing and apologizing to me and William. "My apologies, Chairman. My apologies, Ms. Grace. I failed to raise my daughter properly. I will definitely deal with her when we get back." Marcus was dragged up from the ground by a bodyguard, trembling violently. Dad, I'm sorry, I was mistaken about people." "Hold it." William exuded an aura that kept others at bay. "My surname is Yi, and I only have one daughter. You have nothing to do with me." Alex stood stunned. Even she, as foolish as she was, realized something was wrong. The next second, Marcus, in extreme panic, started making wild accusations. "Alex seduced me, they led me astray, I was also deceived. Honey, Dad, please give me one more chance. From now on, I'll faithfully protect my family." My sarcastic gaze swept over Alex and her group of friends. "So you're the ones who led my husband astray? Well, then, the bill will be calculated differently." Alex's eyes were unfocused, she no longer resisted Dean. Dean released her hand, and she looked as if her soul had been drained, mumbling, "This is impossible, how could it be? How could you be the heir to Vance? So lied to me? He actually lied to me. How dare he lie to me?" Alex lunged at Marcus, grabbing him and beating him. "So you're just a kept man. How dare you pretend to be the heir to a wealthy family? You've ruined me. You deserve to die. You deserve to die." She and Marcus's friends belate. Delay realized what was happening and quickly cut all ties with Marcus. "Ms. Grace. I was deceived." "Exactly. If we had known Ms. Grace's identity, how would we dare treat you like this? Please spare me this once, don't kill me, I don't want to die. I'll be your slave, just spare me, spare me." At this moment, these good brothers hated Marcus to their core. I said nothing, simply watched the show with composure. Perhaps inspired by Alex, these people lunged at Marcus. Punching and kicking him, they ganged up on Marcus, and he let out a series of screams. "Help! Help me! Stop hitting me! Honey, save me, please save me! I know I was wrong, I truly know I was wrong. Stop hitting me, please stop." When was almost at his limit, he crawled towards me like a dog. I looked down at him, like I was looking at a dog. "Honey." "No. Ms. Grace. Ms. Grace." Marcus finally learned his lesson, but he still tried to play dumb. "Please, for the sake of me saving you back then, spare me this one time. I'll leave with nothing, and stay far away, never bothering you again." "Speaking of that," I said, my smile vanishing, "then you deserve to die even more." Marcus instantly recoiled, his guilty and fearful expression clearly explaining everything. At this moment, my fury became almost palpable. "It was Ethan who saved me. He was your best friend then, but to take sole credit for the favor, you not only used tricks to cripple him, but later caused his family to go bankrupt. Marcus, I've known you for so long, been married for a year, and only now do I realize you're a monster in human skin." 10. Back then, a young man rescued me from traffickers. He never gave his name, but I was deeply grateful and remembered him clearly. I always thought Marcus was the young man who saved me. Enduring my father's disapproval and outside mockery, I still married Marcus. It turned out he had stolen the credit. Now it was too late to compensate my savior. Ethan was crippled by Marcus, and the Fu family went bankrupt. Ethan and his parents were taken to the countryside. When I found their family, Ethan and his parents were no longer alive, leaving only a 16-year-old sister who had been constantly bullied by relatives. Fortunately, my benefactor still had a sister. I would make it up to his sister tenfold, 100-fold. Because of this, Marcus deserved to die even more. Hearing my words, Marcus collapsed to the ground. He twisted his lips into a smile uglier than a grimace. My love. No, Miss Grace, doesn't our shared history mean anything? Was our year together all a lie? You loved me so much, defended me so fiercely, and even when I left you repeatedly, you couldn't bear to let me go. Marcus grew more agitated as he spoke. You clearly loved me that much. All I wanted was to test how deep your love for me was. Can't I just stop testing you from now on? Why did you suddenly turn on me like this? Why am I suddenly left with nothing? Ha! Ha 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 ha! Alex burst out laughing. Her laughter was loud. It was so ill-timed, yet so perfectly deserved. Serves you right. You kept man. That was Vance's money you were living off. Instead of being grateful, you spent your days impersonating Grace and scamming people. This is karma. You deserve this. You absolutely deserve this. Alex's loud laughter further tormented the already distraught Marcus. He suddenly lunged, brutally choking Alex. This is all your fault. We said we were friends, just having a little fun on the side, and you were willing to, weren't you? Marcus roared. If you hadn't pushed your luck so hard and provoked my wife would never have left me. Alex, you ruined me. You. Help. Help. Dean was terrified. He quickly tried to pry Marcus's hands away, glancing at William with a pleading look. My father always told me I was a poor judge of character and too soft-hearted. Yet, even he went easy on the clueless Dean in this situation. Bodyguards stepped forward and SEPA raided the two. Alex and Marcus were given sedatives and tossed into a corner like trash. Dean thought his daughter's life had been saved and was overwhelmed with gratitude. But I had almost died in the ocean, so I certainly wasn't going to let them off so easily. After the divorce was finalized, Marcus left with nothing. He still tried to win me back, clinging like a desperate ex. I'll do anything, be your servant, just to stay by your side. I'd even be your errand boy. Ms. Grace, I can't leave you. Please, give me another chance. I kicked him and had Vance announce that they would be pursuing legal action against Marcus. Overnight, the buddies Marcus had once been close to all swarmed him. Some bullied and mocked him, some demanded their money back, some pranked and retaliated against him. Marcus's life became even more difficult. He tried every means to contact me, constantly sending me messages filled with regrets, but I ignored them all. After I uncovered a trove of evidence of Dean's corruption and bribery, my father played dumb and then decisively fired him. But I wasn't finished with them. To avoid prison, Dean agreed to Alex and Marcus getting married. They had initially skirted the line of romance under the guise of being good friends. Now that they were actually married, they had become an utterly resentful pair. They constantly fought, a vicious cycle of spite. Their lives were more dramatic than a soap opera. Soon, Alex couldn't stand the miserable life and began looking for her next victim. She used the same old tactic, getting close to men under the pretense of being good friends and then initiating romantic entanglements. Her good luck, however, seemed to have run out. After just 1 month, she was publicly beaten by a married woman. This time, someone filmed it, and the video went viral online. Many netizens condemned her, criticizing her behavior for making it difficult for other women to form genuine friendships and inexplicably harming the reputations of innocent people. Unable to bear being universally condemned, Alex brought up Marcus's past and started a social media channel, exploiting Marcus's story. She hadn't made much money when she nearly died one night. Marcus teamed up with the recently unemployed yacht, intending to sell Alex overseas. But their sloppy planning led Alex to discover their scheme. Alex, in turn, sold them both out, grabbed the money, and fled. But she didn't get far before she was caught. My lawyer contacted me. Ms. Grace, everything is handled. She's destined to rot in jail. I replied approvingly, excellent work. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.